All right, the Palmetto Health Injury Report, Coach, and you look at that situation, look at Carl Hamilton, Tristan Bellamy, Joe Thomas, three big contributors so far this season.
Yeah, they're both, they're all really good players for us. And, Tristan looks like he may have a little bit of a shoulder deal. I'm really concerned, though, about Joe and Jacar because they may not necessarily be back for a while.
That is the Palmetto Health Injury Report. When we come back, it's halftime here on the Buddy P Show. Bulldogs trailing 30-10. We'll have Saturday's second half highlights from the Circle City Classic on this edition of the Buddy P Show. The Regional Medical Center All-Heart player, Coach, and let me tell you, this kid was all over the field last Saturday. Courtney Ingram, of course, out of Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Yeah, Courtney's actually from down at Millersville, Georgia, but he always comes to play. And, he made 7 tackles here, had a couple of tackles for losses, and he's just always a presence in the game. He's one of our captains, and you can always bet that he's going to be around football.
I'll tell you what, it was great for him on Saturday to play as well as he did. Into the second half now, North Carolina Central begins with possession. Gets the rush inside. Kamario McFadden coming up with a huge pass, but Javon Hargraves, another big play by the freshman.
Right, these guys push the pocket a little bit, and we end up getting out and making a play here. And you see Courtney again here getting out on the side, him making a play. That's actually Kamario getting involved there also.
Jordan Reed back to pass for North Carolina Central. Again, the pass rush. And again, when you look at this team, you see Reggie Owens getting in on the tackle along with Javon Hargraves once again.
Yeah, Reggie's going to probably play a bunch for us here now that Joe's down because he's kind of his backup in this spot from down at Statesboro, Georgia.
You know, when North Carolina Central was leading 30-10, we talked that North Carolina Central still hadn't had over 100 yards in total offense. Tells you how well the defense did play despite being behind. And Julius Pendergrass, just a heck of a job, Coach. He's turned out to be the go-to guy.
Nice little run there by Julius. And, we were trying to get back a lost yardage deal there on a penalty. And we couldn't quite find anything. And, you see Richard running around here trying to make a play. He finally gets down here. I wish he had just kind of run that there, but then he did get an interference penalty.
Linnell Elmore, the intended receiver, and of course the pass interference penalty would give South Carolina State a first down. And it was a 2nd and 26 we were facing on that possession, where it looks like we seem to get some things going. Jalen Simmons just can't stay on his feet.
Right at the point when, we're here in the first half, what we're trying to do is get it down to a 2-score game. And, we needed to get a touchdown there. We didn't get a first down. We had a little play out in the flat, but we didn't get quite enough gain there. And then we had a lost yardage play on the 3rd down play, so we had to go for the field goal, and that backfired on us.
And then you start talking about the time lost because we're 7:45 now into the third quarter. You can't get that time back, which is the most important thing. There's Courtney Ingram again.
There he is again. He's always around, and you get Jeremy White there next to him making a play also.
And again, we try to get something going offensively. Cute force out of the pocket. And this was, Coach, where last year he'd make a big play on this instead of cutting it outside, cut it back in. And those are runs we were able to break for really long runs last year. We just haven't been able to get them this year.
No, we hadn't. And they softened us a little bit in the fact that they didn't really, come after us in a way that gave us any big gaps. They played a lot of coverage against us, and we couldn't quite decipher it.
Trey Williams makes a big catch here on 3rd down to get us close on 4th down. Q comes back, and that was kind of how the afternoon went. A catch there, and you stay on your feet, and you pick up the first down easily. And now, of course, North Carolina Central, a little pitch, and every time they needed to play, he didn't have many yards, a big game, but, Coach, every time they needed a big yard, Goforth was able to get it.
Yeah, they just kind of, made a play there in a way that it was kind of a scramble kind of deal. He just keeps just shoveling it out to his backs, and they get enough yardage there to get a first down.
Justin tried to get the strip there, but couldn't get it away from Goforth, and they moved the football down the field. And now Andre Clark comes into the game, and Clark statistically was right behind Goforth. Didn't get a lot of opportunity until this play, and Andre Clark rumbles into the end zone. 40-yard run for the Eagles. 6-play, 66-yard drive. That made it 37-10 with a minute and a half to go. And at this point, it's pretty much all over but the shouting at South Carolina State. Now, Coach, you just try to get some efficiency, perhaps, to build on something, and we fumble the football.
Yeah, we put it on the ground again.
And now North Carolina Central would take over after the fumble return there by Linnell Elmore, which is a rare mistake for him. They would kick a field goal, and that would be pretty much how it ended on Saturday. South Carolina State eventually would go down 40-10. We see North Carolina Central on the other end. This is Goforth on the carry, and the Bulldog defense was stiffened as we have done all year long. Oleg Parent comes on. They have to settle for a field goal. And those were the final points on Saturday. South Carolina State losing 40-10 to North Carolina Central. And, of course, we take a tail of the tape. Well, I guess not. We still got a couple more plays left. I thought we'd go to the tail of the tape. There we go. You look at the stats, Coach. They only had 130 yards rushing and 83 yards passing. That typically is the defense of a team that wins the football game.
Yeah, but now you factor those turnovers in down there, and, you know, that's the story of the game.
You talk about 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles, and they get them all. The time of possession, the Bulldogs kind of dominate time of possession with 32 minutes to 27 minutes. That was the way the stats rolled on Saturday. You start talking about the drive of the game, we have to go back to the only real drive for South Carolina State, which was that possession, Coach, where we got back into the ball game to make it 17-10 and a 1-score game.
Yep, and at this point, you're thinking that you can maybe get, you know, something going, but, you know, we just don't sustain and do it again.
And you start talking about this little play out of the Wildcat. It's a staple lately for you, and one that North Carolina Central had a very hard time defending.
Yeah, yeah. And I see, I can see from this film right here, you know, our young offensive line is, you know, uncertain about a lot of their fits and that kind of stuff. And that's what's been killing us some, the fact that we can't be more consistent in the run game that way.
The State Farm drive of the game. When we come back, we will tell you what is up next for your South Carolina State Bulldogs on this edition of the Buddy Pugh Show.